The cameras flashed. The crowd froze. And just like that, Hollywood had a new obsession. Welcome to Starscope Report. Join Jordan and Jamie as they uncover Hollywood drama, music industry shakeups, and viral influencer scandals. From red carpet surprises to social media controversies, we dive deep into the stories behind the fame.
And today, you guys, we are setting out on a very specific mission for this deep dive.
We absolutely are. We are unpacking the headlines, the timelines, and honestly, the incredibly viral fan reaction surrounding the highly anticipated first official look at Hailee Steinfeld and Josh Allen's baby girl.
It is just a phenomenal story to dig into, largely because it completely subverts everything we've come to expect from celebrity culture.
Yeah.
I mean, we're looking at two people at the absolute undeniable pinnacle of their respective careers. You've got an Oscar-nominated, franchise-leading actress and an NFL MVP quarterback.
Right. They exist on the most public, scrutinized platforms imaginable.
Exactly. Yet somehow, they managed to pull off the ultimate private milestone right under everyone's noses.
I really want to challenge that somehow, though. Like, are they actually these calculating PR masterminds, or did they just get incredibly lucky that the paparazzi were looking the other way?
Oh, that's a great question.
Because to understand the sheer magnitude of this, you have to take yourselves back to March 15, 2026.
The Oscars.
Yes, the Oscars. The movie Sinners is having a historic, just earth-shattering night. We are talking 16 nominations.
Huge night.
It takes home 4 Oscars, including Best Actor for Michael B. Jordan. So he walks up on that stage, grabs his career-defining award, and instead of just, thanking his agent or his family,
He points out the empty seat.
yes, he points out the glaring absence of his co-star, Hailee Steinfeld. He literally tells the entire watching world, quote, "She's getting ready to have a baby right now." That was reported by Entertainment Now, by the way.
Which is an incredibly potent piece of imagery, if you think about it. You have the ultimate public stage, the Academy Awards, broadcast to millions of living rooms globally, being utilized to announce the most intimately private moment of a person's life.
Right.
And the most striking detail is that she wasn't even in the building to do it herself.
She was miles away.
Exactly. Stepping entirely out of the spotlight. I mean, her Sinners co-star, Wunmi Mosaku, who was also pregnant and nominated for Best Supporting Actress, was right there, walking the red carpet.
So Hailee could have easily done the massive viral Vanity Fair bump reveal.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But instead, she chose ghost mode. And to answer your question about whether it's luck or strategy, it's absolutely strategy.
You think so?
Oh, without a doubt. If you track their timeline, which the folks over at Us Weekly have been obsessively doing, you realize this playbook was written years ago.
Okay, take us back then. Because the origins of this couple were anything but quiet.
Right. So we have to rewind to May 2023. These two start popping up in New York City for these quiet sushi dates. But the context is everything.
Right. The timing was wild.
Exactly. This is right on the heels of some major personal shifts. Just a month prior, Josh Allen's longtime girlfriend, Brittany Williams, had completely wiped her Instagram grid of any photos with him.
So the internet is already just frothing at the mouth for drama.
Totally. Then, boom, Josh and Hailee are spotted. And, usually a new high-profile couple will lean into the noise.
Yeah, they'll do a soft launch on social media.
Or strategically walk a red carpet together to control the narrative, just to feed the beast enough to satisfy it.
They didn't do that at all. In fact, Josh seemed genuinely disgusted by the mechanics of celebrity gossip.
Yeah, he really did.
If you dig up his podcast interviews from around August 2023, he talked about getting this visceral, gross feeling.
When paparazzi hit on the boat.
Yes. Literally hiding on boats just to snap long lens photos of them kissing on vacation. He was baffled by the intrusion.
Well, you have to remember, he's an athlete. He's used to cameras analyzing his every move on the turf.
Right.
But having a covert surveillance team tracking your romantic life, that is a massive shock to the system.
And that shock evolved into a fortress mentality. They carried that ironclad boundary straight into their wedding in Santa Barbara in May 2025.
Oh, the no phone rule?
Exactly. They enforced a strict no phone rule. Hailee wore this stunning custom Tamara Ralph gown. They brought in the legendary photographer Jose Villa to capture the weekend, but, and this is the crazy part, they ensured there were no live streams.
No rogue guests leaking blurry selfies to TikTok from the bathroom.
Right. Hailee even wrote later that stripping the phones away was the best decision they made, allowing everyone to just be present. But From a media perspective, it wasn't just about mindfulness, you know? It was about plugging the leaks.
It's brilliant.
I see the strategy, but I still struggle with the reality of it. I mean, you are talking to an audience who knows exactly how massive these two are.
Oh, they're huge.
Hailee is voicing Gwen Stacy in the Spider-Man mega franchise. Josh Allen is the face of the Buffalo Bills, a guy carrying the weight of an entire city's Super Bowl dreams on his shoulders.
Yeah.
It's like a high-stakes game of poker, right? You can build a fortress, you can confiscate phones, but eventually you have to leave the house. You only show your cards when forced. You can't hide a baby forever.
Well, the goal was never to hide the baby forever. That's a crucial distinction.
Okay, what do you mean?
What they are doing is dictating the architecture of their visibility. They aren't pretending they aren't living their lives. They are simply refusing to hand the public a live feed monitor to their daily details.
Ah.
They recognize early on that in a landscape where every engagement, wedding, and baby announcement is monetized, turned into sponsored content, or a multi-page magazine exclusive, opting out is the ultimate flex of power.
That level of hypervigilant boundary setting makes what they did next so baffling, though.
It really does.
If you're hiding your baby from the world, you'd assume they're in total lockdown, shades drawn, refusing to see anyone. But wait until you hear where this couple was spotted literally 24 hours after announcing their baby's arrival.
The whiplash is real with this sequence of events.
Let's trace how the actual announcement went down, because fast forward to April 2026, and Hailee finally drops the news that the baby is here.
But she completely bypasses the traditional Hollywood megaphone.
Right. She doesn't post a glossy photo shoot to Instagram or call up a magazine. She goes straight to her Substack newsletter, Beau Society.
Which is such an interesting move.
It is. It's a post titled Special Delivery, and she just writes, quote, "Our baby girl has arrived." She talks about feeling so incredibly grateful and blessed and just savoring those early quiet moments.
Which is a masterstroke in modern PR.
Yeah.
You have to understand the mechanism behind why a Substack newsletter is so completely different from an Instagram post.
Yeah, break that down for us.
A newsletter is an opt-in community. It's a chronological, gated email feed. It goes directly into the inboxes of dedicated fans who care enough to subscribe.
Right.
It entirely bypasses the algorithmic meat grinder of platforms like Instagram or X, where your deeply personal news is pushed onto the feeds of millions of strangers who might just want to criticize it for engagement, you know?
Wow, yeah.
It creates an intimate, protected digital room for an intimate announcement.
Okay, that makes total sense. They control the room. But here is the massive twist that I just cannot get over.
The wedding.
Yes. According to tracking from the Times of India, exactly one single day after dropping this news on Substack and breaking the internet, Josh and Hailee are not hiding in their fortress.
No, they casually stroll into the Rancho Valencia resort in California.
Because Josh's best friend, fellow quarterback Sam Darnold, is getting married. And they didn't just sneak in the back for a quick toast.
Oh, not all.
They spent the entire night glowing, accepting hugs from a room packed with NFL royalty, and they actually hit the dance floor.
It perfectly illustrates how they compartmentalize their lives.
Yeah.
They fiercely guard the private milestone, but they refuse to let it paralyze their public friendships.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
They stepped out of their own monumental moment to instantly support a friend's milestone. And if you look at the football side of this equation, Josh Allen's immediate return to the grind is just as staggering.
We have to talk at the NFL timeline here because the league waits for absolutely no one, not even a new dad.
Oh, the trackers over at CBS Sports and Athlon Sports were all over this. Allen actually cut his paternity leave incredibly short.
Really?
Yeah. By April 7th, he was already back in Buffalo, lacing up for the very first day of voluntary workouts.
That is insane.
And you have to keep the physical context in mind. This is a quarterback coming off foot surgery to repair a broken bone. But he was out there, fully participating, pushing through the rehab.
The quote he gave to reporters about his mental state right then gives me chills.
It's a great quote.
He stood there and said, quote, "The want to win will never change. The why I want to do it has." He talked openly about wanting to show his daughter firsthand how hard you have to work to accomplish something truly great in this world.
Such a shift in perspective.
And then he lightened it up, joking about turning 30 and needing to rely on dad's strength to chase down that Super Bowl ring.
He plays it off with the dad strength joke, but the psychological shift happening there is profound.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, for an elite athlete who has already hit incredible metrics, we are talking over 30,000 passing yards, multiple Pro Bowls, MVP hardware. Finding a new, deeper anchor for motivation is a game changer.
It really is.
He explicitly stated that he believes this shift is going to forge the best version of himself on and off the field. He's no longer just playing to silence critics or hear the roar of the stadium.
Right, he's playing for an audience of one who is sitting at home in a strawberry onesie. By the way, if you're loving these Hollywood twists and sports crossovers, make sure you're subscribed. We've got even crazier stories ahead in this deep dive.
We really do.
Because later in this deep dive, we'll talk about the shocking twist nobody saw coming, the massive controversy that erupted when the very first photos finally dropped.
It's a controversy that really exposes the ugliest expectations of modern internet culture.
Let's get right into the core of this saga. So May 11th rolls around. It's Mother's Day. Hailee finally decides to throw a bone to the fans who have been waiting so patiently. She shares the highly anticipated first look on Instagram. She captions the carousel, quote, "A day late, but simply obsessed with this."
But the visual language of what she posted is what caused the friction, because it wasn't the standard brightly lit, full-face baby portrait that people expect.
Not even close. The visual breakdowns from Heavy and Parade captured the aesthetic perfectly. She posted this deeply cinematic, almost moody carousel of images.
Very curated.
Exactly. We saw tiny, delicate baby hands wrapping around her finger, little baby legs kicking in the air, wearing the absolute cutest strawberry print onesie.
The pancakes, too.
Yes, there was a gorgeous spread of golden diner pancakes, which is a fun callback because she had actually shared that exact recipe in her newsletter a while back.
Oh, that's a nice touch.
There was a white frosted floral cake, and then a detail that the fans absolutely lost their minds over: a massive breakfast spread from Wegmans.
The Wegmans detail is brilliant.
Isn't it?
It's this subtle, very deliberate bridge between her glamorous Hollywood ecosystem and his gritty, deeply loyal Buffalo world.
Even Jeremy Renner, her Hawkeye co-star, jumped into the comments to leave a sweet note for her first Mother's Day.
Oh, that's sweet.
It was a highly curated, deeply aesthetic glimpse into their life. It feels intimate, but it fiercely protects the core privacy of the child. They absolutely refuse to show the baby's face.
Right.
But they did finally give the internet a name.
Yes. As reported by Cinema Blend, the baby's name is Beau. B-E-A-U.
Such a great name.
And the origin story behind this name is honestly one of the sweetest things I've heard. Hailee revealed that long before she was born, her parents were completely torn between naming her Hailee or naming her Bailey.
Oh, wow.
They obviously landed on Hailee, but they just couldn't let go of the sound of Bailey. So, as a compromise, they started calling her Hailee Beau Bailey around the house. It became this deeply ingrained childhood nickname.
A nickname that she never dropped as she grew up.
Exactly. It became the literal namesake for her newsletter, Beau Society. She uses it heavily in her personal branding, and now she has taken that deeply personal family moniker and passed it down to her daughter.
It's a beautiful thread connecting the generations, but, you know, because this is the internet, a beautiful, sentimental moment couldn't just stay peaceful. The wolves had to come out.
They absolutely did.
Yeah.
Parade tracked the fallout, and the comments section under that beautiful Mother's Day post rapidly devolved into a digital war zone.
You had this vocal faction of fans who were genuinely furious.
So angry.
They were aggressively demanding to know the baby's name, because this was right before the official reveal, and they were demanding to see her face. They felt entirely slighted.
Yeah.
And then instantly you had this opposing army of fans fiercely defending the couple's right to privacy. They were firing back in the comments saying things like, "It's not your baby or your place to know her name or what she looks like.
Good for them.
And it's not your place or anyone else's to be entitled to someone else's baby."
This friction is the dark side of the modern parasocial contract.
What do you mean by that?
Well, over the last decade, social media has conditioned audiences to believe that access is a fundamental right. Fans invest their time watching your movies, they invest their money buying your team's jerseys, and in return, they begin to feel like they've purchased actual shares in your personal life.
Oh, wow, yeah.
When a celebrity suddenly draws a curtain, that perceived contract is broken, and the entitlement turns into outrage.
The way I think about this entitlement is like this. Imagine you are streaming a massive blockbuster movie.
Okay.
You paid your monthly subscription, you sat on your couch, and you invested 2 hours into the plot. But then, the second the credits start rolling, you start screaming at your television.
Give me more.
Right? You demand that the studio send you the director's cut immediately, you demand all the deleted outtakes, and then you insist that the lead actors mail you their private handwritten diaries from the set just so you can know what they were really thinking.
It sounds insane when you put it like that.
It's utterly absurd. But that is exactly the psychological mechanism happening here. Some people just cannot accept the boundaries of the screen. They think a follow button is an all-access backstage pass to a human being's actual breathing reality.
That streaming analogy perfectly captures the absurdity of it. The backlash highlights a massive cultural shift.
Yeah.
On one side, you have the archaic expectation of celebrity, the idea that the price of fame requires the complete sacrifice of your privacy, that you owe the public a tour of your nursery.
Right.
But Steinfeld and Allen represent a new generation, actively resisting that transactional model. They are drawing a line in the sand and saying, you can have our art on the screen, you can have our blood and sweat on the football field, but you cannot have our child.
And it makes you wonder the sheer mental toll it takes to navigate that line every single day.
Oh, it has to be exhausting.
To desperately want to share your joy with the world, because clearly they are thrilled, they are simply obsessed with their daughter, but knowing that the absolute second you hit post, you are throwing meat to a pack of digital wolves who will dissect, criticize, and monetize every single pixel of that photo.
Which brings us full circle to why the no-phone wedding was so essential. It's why the Substack announcement was so structurally brilliant.
Yeah, they knew exactly what they were doing.
They are hyper-aware of the digital ecosystem they are swimming in. They know that in 2026, every piece of information you release isn't just news, it becomes raw currency. By withholding the baby's face, they are actively starving the beast.
Refusing to play the game.
Exactly. They are refusing to let their child become content for public consumption.
Stay tuned and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what's coming next in our future deep dives. Because the way celebrity culture is fracturing and shifting right now is just endlessly fascinating to watch.
We are definitely witnessing a real-time evolution in how public figures reclaim their autonomy.
It makes you look at the entire Hollywood machine differently. Which leads me to a final thought I want to leave you with today.
Let's hear it.
Look at the board right now. Look at where Hailee and Josh are standing. Hailee is returning to work, stepping into a massive voice role alongside Rashida Jones in the new animated movie Hexed.
Huge project.
And Josh is stepping back onto the turf in Buffalo, completely recovered, leading his team and hunting for a Super Bowl ring with a renewed, primal sense of purpose. I mean, they are arguably at the absolute dizzying peak of their respective careers. Their visibility has never, ever been higher.
That is the ultimate paradox of their lives right now. The brighter the spotlight, the darker the shadows they have to cast to protect themselves.
Exactly. But by completely shielding baby Beau's face from the world, by keeping the most precious, vulnerable part of their lives entirely out of the spotlight and off the algorithm, it begs a massive question for the future of fame.
Yeah, what comes next?
Are Steinfeld and Allen pioneering a completely new era in Hollywood? An era where true power isn't measured by how many magazine covers you can land or how much viral attention you can attract online,
Right.
but rather by how much of your real, authentic life you can successfully hide from the flashing cameras. You've been listening to Starscope Report, where Jordan and Jamie uncover the stories shaping Hollywood, music, and pop culture. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that keep the stars shining.